Short-term rentals. Richmond has a short-term rental policy that requires a short-term rental, meaning less than 30 days. So like 2 or 3 days, a week, 10 days, that's all considered short-term rental. For a long time, after the advent of Airbnb and the sort of share culture, and it came along, and then there's also VRBO that sort of drive that short-term rental thing. For a long time, Richmond had no ordinance on it. They now have one. It may not be ideal, but I think it does help short-term rentals not take over. But the advent and the acceptance of what's known as an ADU, or Auxiliary Dwelling Unit, popularity has been on the increase because of these things. And also city zoning has become more open to that. It is a trend that we live in. ADUs are supposed to make housing more affordable, but ADUs are also making short-term rentals more available. So, which one is it? Is it the chicken or the egg? But what are your thoughts, particularly in older established neighborhoods, about what the existence of ADUs and the allowance of short-term rentals are doing to the quality of the neighborhood? In neighborhoods like the Fan and Churchill and Jackson Ward and Carver and Museum District, we have a number of what appear to be legally run short-term rental situations. The city also has some other zoning allowances where if your building is zoned a certain way or you have a special use permit, you don't necessarily need to adhere to the short-term rental rules because of the zoning of the property. There are buildings that have apartments in them and they don't have to have an owner occupant on the site. They're generally not in established neighborhoods. They're in neighborhoods that were more commercial, that is sort of creeping back into residential. In the mid-20th century, a lot of residential uses in downtown Richmond were sort of zoned out of existence, and what were built as residential neighborhoods were basically turned into commercial neighborhoods and residential properties used as offices and things like that. A good example of this is Franklin Street between downtown and Belvedere. It was once one of the primary residential streets in Richmond, and then in the mid-20th century, post-World War II, it pretty much stopped being a residential situation. It was all commercial of some variety, offices, clubs, banks, that kind of thing. And now the city's going back in and going, well, hey, they were built for residential use, so maybe we should let them go back. But how do you feel like short-term rentals and allowing people to have small units available in their home, either for long-term rental or short-term rental, is affecting the quality of neighborhoods in Richmond? Please comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. I know in other areas, other cities with vastly higher amounts of tourism, there is a great deal of fear that it is changing established neighborhoods in a permanent way. I'm not so sure that's happening in Richmond yet, but let me know what you think. I'm Chris Small. I'm a real estate broker in Richmond, Virginia.